In part one with Jeff Kazzee, we talked about his influences, his solo record, and we also talked about how he became the band leader for Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes. In part two, we talked about when he toured with Bon Jovi and auditioning for Southside Johnny. We also talked about playing with G.E. Smith and Roger Waters and his new band, the Early Elton Trio.
First gig I ever did, listen to this, I didn't rehearse. I was subbing for the previous guy named Rusty Cloud, who was a monster jazz and rock player. I came in to sub for him initially down at the Trade Winds in Seabright, New Jersey, you know, a club, rock club. And I come up there, I set up my stuff, or the roadies come and get my stuff, set it up. I get in there, I'm the only guy on stage. Then the guys start filing in, still no Johnny. Then all of a sudden, Jon Bon Jovi comes in, and then Johnny comes in. And then Southside says, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm Jeff Kazzee." And he says, "All right, you know the intro to Fever? Yeah, play it. But you know, Love on the Wrong Side. Do you know that?" I learned everything from cassettes. Some dude sitting a cassette of the live shows, not even the records. But I was hungry, Dan. I was ready to rock. And anyway, that was my break. And then the first gig I ever did that night, Jon Bon Jovi sits in. He had a, you know, like a Marshall speaker or something like that. And then later on, guess who shows up? Steven Van Zandt.
I mean, how'd that tour go with Bon Jovi in 2005?
It was good, you know. It was great for me because I had done okay in New York, but the Jukes thing gave me somewhere to put my hat on, and then when I got the Bon Jovi thing, it put me on a large stage. So immediately I could charge more money. but you know, I kept it when I would come home on our breaks, because we'd go out for like, you know, 4, 5, 6 weeks, come back for 2 or 3. I went straight to Johnny's gig. I never gave that up. With Bon Jovi, you know, I was a second keyboardist and singing high parts and stuff like that. It was a good band. It was the regular band with David Bryan on keyboards and, of course, Richie Sambora and the rest of the guys, Tico. And with me and Bobby, the singing was, you know, John wanted that singing sound that he heard Bobby and I, and we were also proficient on our instruments, you know, and he just wanted to beef up the band for that tour, you know, and try something new. And it was strange coming into it, you know. You're coming into an established band, and the guys were like, "Hey, wait a minute," you know. We were sort of like John's boys, you know. But it didn't take long. We fit in. You know, Richie Sambora came over to me and immediately was gracious to me and accepted me immediately. They did, you know. And then we had to work it out between the, you know, the keys with David Bryan and me. And I basically grabbed most of the Hammond stuff, and then piano if he wanted to play Hammond, you know. So as the star, and a band member, he cherry picked good parts.
Yeah.
He gave me the secondary parts, and I was happy with that because I was playing a role, you know. I wanted to be supporting him, supporting John, and then I kept working with Jon Bon Jovi and his solo stuff for several years after that.
That's really great.
Yeah.
And you worked with a lot of other artists. I mean, Roger Waters. I mean,
yeah.
Robert Robertson. So tell us about the people the most memorable experience you had with those musicians.
Well, in Roger Waters' case, I was out in the Hamptons playing with G.E. Smith, the famous guitarist for Bob Dylan and Saturday Night Live. He knows everybody. You go out with him and people come out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, he knows everybody. And so I've played lots. I've been his piano guy and singer and colleague. So we were just playing a show out there one summer. It was hot as hell. And G.E. was doing the Wall tour at the time with playing bass with Roger. So Roger plays bass, but he would get up and sing, you know. So he played bass and guitar. Long story short is like Roger was, he brings Roger up on have you ever been to the Talk House in the Hamptons? A really small place, really small.
I don't think so.
120 people. So he's sitting there, and I see Roger Waters, you know, like, all right, Roger Waters. You know, I'm not a starstruck guy, you know, but I'm like, that's interesting. So he brings him up, he says, will you play a song with us, Roger? And Roger comes up to jam. And Roger goes, let's play the slowest fucking fucking blues that we can't. I'm so drunk. So we did that, and I saw Roger, we were playing, and Roger's smiling at me, and so Roger would call me from time to time, and he was always keen on my Hammond organ playing.
So then also in 2009, you formed the Early Elton Trio. Tell us about that.
Well, we were at one of these things as gay. I think we were at like Michael J. Fox, who has Parkinson's, had a big Parkinson's fundraiser, and everybody would come out. Bruce would come out, Joan Jett, huge stars, John Mayer. We'd back them all. And the drummer one year was Rich Pagano from the Fab Faux. So we were at soundcheck, and I started. I wasn't like a big Elton freak or anything, like Elton, Billy Joel guy that usually piano players are. I started at the piano, just at screwing around soundcheck. I was like, if you feel that it's real, and I'm not trying. And all of a sudden, the bass player, who John Conte, who plays in Southside Johnny, and Rich start playing exactly like this live record called 11-17-70, which is Elton's great rock record. And we played a whole thing of it, like 10 minutes, just jamming. And we got done, and the crew and everybody's like clapping. It was off the cuff. And then so afterwards, somebody says, we need to do a whole night of that. So we said, let's do it. We'll do it at the bitter end. We'll call them. They'll give us a date, and we'll have our friends out. Well, we sold the bitter end twice. Sold it out immediately.
Great.
Started, working locally. We couldn't really work a lot because we had steady gigs. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was a labor of love, and then also we started selling out small theaters and rock clubs and things like that. So, and last year we signed with ICM to be represented and break it out. Of course, the pandemic.
Yeah, right. I know, right?
That thing. Yeah, and we only played like 3 years of Elton John stuff.
Right.
So anyway, we're not a tribute band, but we play the music. We try to pay tribute to the spirit, but we're not a tribute band. But we play Elton John music from that period. That's it.